By God's grace, I'm doing very well.
For many of us in the media, this matter is not new to us. For you, what are the current issues that you would resolve urgently?
The current issue that I think needs urgent resolution is for the government to say that enough is enough. After 19 years of allowing the business to plunge into a social intervention program, let the assemblies whose monies are used to pay for this contract supervise the sweepers and then pay them well. Because as we speak, if you go to AMA, they don't have a full complement of the people who are supposed to come there and sweep in the name of Zoomlion. So they use their own IGF to employ sweepers. Meanwhile, their share of the common fund is deducted at source and paid through Zoomlion for the sweepers to come and work. Because the payment is very bad, I mean the wages, 250 cedis in this economy doesn't solve anything. And also, they can be owed for up to a year in arrears. So a lot of them have stopped working. But Zoomlion keeps going to the YEA with the same number, 45,000 people. Even when the YEA conducted a head count led by Justin Frimpong Kodria, who is now the NPP General Secretary, he was there. And he said at a press conference openly that Zoomlion said they had 45,000. When they went out, the YEA for their head count, they saw 38,000. That's a difference of about 6,000. Then, even the 38,000, he said they were recruited without recourse to the YEA. If you listen to Zoomlion, they keep saying that, well, it is the YEA who recruits and give it to us. But you have the YEA CEO, Justin Frimpong Kodria, saying they recruited people without recourse to the YEA. And what beats one's imagination is, even 2022, when the AMA wrote to the YEA to ask for the numbers, because they weren't seeing the sweepers, the YEA CEO at a board meeting said, look, we couldn't respond to the AMA because we don't have the figures. Yet, the business comes to say, I have 45,000. Then you multiply 45,000 by 850 Ghana cedis and pay to Zoomlion. When you delay in payment, Zoomlion charges interest up to 30% on this 45,000. And the question we should be asking is, sometimes we have road contractors who work and up to 5 years they are not paid. Are they all given up to 30% interest? Because the Zoomlion contract says if they don't pay up to 3 months after raising the invoice, they would pay an interest for the delay. And Zoomlion often claims that it goes to take loans to sometimes pre-finance the program. But this arrangement doesn't even require Zoomlion to come and then produce any loans it has taken or evidence that it has taken loans. Once the payment delays for 3 months, the contract says they are entitled to an interest. Meanwhile, when Zoomlion delays in paying the workers, when it takes the interest from the government, it doesn't give them. So there's so much money we are losing because of this contract. That is why Malik Basentale's suggestion that it won't be renewed under these terms. His predecessor said the same thing when they came and saw it. He should listen to the press conference Justin Frimpong Kodria said or held in 2018 February. He said, well, the terms are not good and this. They ended up doing the same thing. So if Malik Basentale doesn't cancel this contract, the same thing will happen. Nothing is going to change. I have been on this from 2013. Abu Gapele was there. He went to jail. they brought a champo, Kobe Champo. Then Vincent Kuagbenu came. Vincent Kuagbenu actually came and said, look, he wrote to the Common Fund to stop paying Zoomlion because the contract was bad. And guess what? He was sacked out of. He is the shortest or the one who didn't last. Then Ebo Bichim came when the MPP came from Ponkodria, and then we got Kofi Banya Ejapon before Malik Basintali. All of these people, I think, apart from Kobe Champon, I had very extensive discussions with all these CEOs I have mentioned. They all had issues with the contract, but they ended up allowing the bad terms to happen. So I don't think what Malik is saying, that he swears on the father's grave, it won't be renewed under these terms. The thing is criminal. If you know the details of this contract, it is criminal. And I don't think that there is any negotiation that needs to be done. They should just cancel it, ask the shippers to go to the assembly, because the vehicles that would lift the waste to the disposal site is covered under a separate contract which assemblies pay. Then when they go to the disposal site, there's another contract which assemblies pay. So this sweepers thing, the assemblies can just supervise their sweepers. And if it is the lifting that they don't have the vehicles, that contract to Zoomlion can stay. That's a different contract called the Sanitation Improvement Package, which is on every assembly's share of the common fund. When the letter goes, you see SIP, Sanitation Improvement Package, and then the MMDA's fumigation. All these contracts go to Zoomlion. So it beats one's imagination why this contract is still happening from 2006 till now, even though it is fraught with irregularities.
So for you, when it comes to the part that is handled by the YEA, that one, it should be cancelled outright for you?
Yes, the YEA contract with Zoomlion, if you get to know the details and what has been happening over the years, this, you won't think twice. You would just say, let this contract go. Because I don't understand why we should bring a middleman. When you look at even the other YEA programs, there's no middleman. They handle it effectively. But in this case, YEA even has the assembly sanitation departments to help them. So this should be the least of their worry. And the Malik Basintali's predecessor said in the board minutes of October 13, 2022, that the YEA was capable of managing this contract without Zoomlion or any other third party.
I see. Very interesting suggestions you made. You're suggesting that from all records and from everything you've heard, one, there are cases where, so Zoomlion always goes to the YEA with 45,000 workers, and nobody asks them to account for the 45,000 workers.
No.
They're just paid.
They just paid. And the assemblies who are supposed to benefit from this 45,000 have come to say, look, we don't see the people. You say you are giving us people to see, Zoomlion is controlled. We don't see them. There's a letter to that effect written by the immediate past CEO of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly in September 2022. Then in October 2022, the YEA CEO tells the board that when this woman wrote to us, we couldn't respond. Why? We don't have the figures. Justin Kodria mentioned, that's even the worst part, that when they asked Zoomlion to give them the payroll to justify, the company was unable to do that. And all that I'm saying is online. It's a video. Actually, the press conference is in video form, so people can still hear him. So I don't know any sane human being, if it were their own money, you'll be paying somebody who claims to have a certain number to provide a service, and you cannot verify. Even when you tried your own head counter, you realized that the number had been inflated the difference was about 6,100. That's the difference. Still, they couldn't stand their grounds, and this is still happening. So I don't think Malik Basintale will do anything different if this contract is there. Normally, I have had extensive discussions with whoever has occupied that position since 2013, except Kobe Echampo.
I see. You seem not to have a lot of faith in, because you are saying a few things. One, under the contract, who is supposed to recruit the people? Is it YEA or Zoomlion?
Under the contract, YEA is supposed to recruit the people
and then hand them over to Zoomlion to manage.
To Zoomlion, so that Zoomlion will use them to clean the assemblies. And the assemblies are paying for these workers, but the assemblies don't recruit. The assemblies don't manage. So when you go to the assemblies and the places are dirty, when you ask them, they say, well, they say Zoomlion will come and clean. They only take our money for it. We don't know the people. We don't see the contract. That is the absurdity. The assemblies whose monies are used to pay don't even have the contract.
So if the YEA is the one who does the recruitment, why would the YEA struggle to manage its own workers and tell who I have recruited or who I have not recruited? Because if I have recruited 38,000, I should know, shouldn't they?
YEA has lost control of the program. So Zoomlion is controlling the program. Ask whoever is at YEA that when President Mahama set up the JIDA committee in 2013, the number on the payroll was 37,000. That was the figure both Zoomlion and YEA were using, 37,000. President Mahama suspended all JIDA models. All contracts were cancelled except this Zoomlion contract. Then in 2017, when the MPP started, Zoomlion started mentioning 45,000, and I started seeing documents also stating 45,000 from the YEA. Ask Malik Basintale or whoever is at the YEA, the previous people, that they should send you a letter or evidence of when the recruitment was done, for which reason the figure moved from 37,000 to 45,000. They will struggle. When you speak to people behind the scenes, look, this is the reality. I went to 53 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies across Ghana. We had 10 regions at the time. On camera, they won't say it, but on off camera, they'll say, look, Zoomlion is so powerful. When the contract comes and you say you won't sign, if you're not careful, they'll sack you. So, and I mean, they get calls from the Ministry of Local Government and sometimes from the Office of the President to push deals that they are not happy with. These are the things they say. There was a presiding officer, Thomas Mpetri in Pandai. He is recorded in my Robbing the Assemblies Part 2. And these are his words, that I believe even the central government cannot control Zoomlion. So those of us at the assembly, we cannot do anything. It is the reason they come. You see all the rot going on. The previous Malik Basintale's predecessor, Kofi Japan, he fought this contract. He said it was bad. He went to the National Security Minister Kandapa to complain. And Kandapa said, well, this will not happen. It happened. He went to Gabriel Chiredakon to complain. Gabriel Chiredakon led him to the office of the president. He wanted this contract cancelled because he thinks it is bad. And if Malik should read his handing over note, I don't think he should be entertaining the idea of reviewing it, because nothing will change if this contract remains. We don't even need a middleman. And I'm not even saying that Zoomlion should go and someone should come. If Zoomlion goes, no contractor should come. When the YEA started, the youth employment, the reason for the corruption was the third-party companies. If you read the JIDA report, President Mahama commissioned in 2013, the report said the contracts were skewed to favor three major groups of companies. The Agams group, of which the RLG was one, the Zira group, of which the road maintenance model was part, and then the Jospon group, led by Zoomlion, and then the other company called Better Ghana Management. Interestingly, after my investigations and President Mahama's intervention, all of these third-party companies were taken out, but Zoomlion was left, and the problem is still continuing.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us and painting quite a good picture, and laying some solid foundation for the discussion. Thank you, Manasseh.
You're most welcome, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you too. Manasseh Azure is an investigative journalist. Been following this contract for so long. He's the person to speak to whenever you want to have a discussion on this, just to lay the foundation on where we are. Well, we reached out to the people at Zoom.